welcome back to 4th grade math support. My name is Dr. Griggs, and let's jump right in. Our objective for today, at least the overall objective, is operations and algebraic thinking. Now let's look at the day's objective. Find all factor pairs for a whole number in the range of 1 to 100. Recognize that a whole number is a multiple of each of its factors. Determine whether a given whole number in the range 1 to 100 is a multiple of a given one-digit number. Determine whether a given whole number in the range 1 to 100 is prime or composite. So, in our question for today, in our problem for today, we're going to address all of these parts of this objective, and hopefully we'll make it clear. Here's our problem. Factor pairs and prime and or composite. The school library has 36 books arranged neatly on a shelf. First, we need to find all the factor pairs of 36. Then we need to show how 36 is a multiple of each of its factors. Then we need to figure out if 36 is prime or composite and explain how we know. And then for a bonus question, we're going to look at, is 36 a multiple of 9 and how do we know? So let's take this one step at a time, and let's start with the first problem here, which is find all the factor pairs of 36. Well, when we're looking at factor pairs, we're trying to find two numbers that will multiply to give us the other number. So, for example, every single number is going to have 1 as a factor, and then the other number will be that number. So, one factor pair of 36 would be 1 and 36, because 1 times 36 equals 36. That's what should happen with factor pairs. If you multiply them together, they should give you the number that you're looking for. So let's think about 2. Another clue, every single even number has a factor of 2. That's going to help us as well. Well, if we look at 36 divided by 2, this is another way to figure out the factor pairs when we do division. 2 goes into 3 one time. 1 times 2 is 2. 3 minus 2 is 1. We're going to bring down this 6. And 2 goes into 16 8 times. That's 16. So that also shows us that 2 and 18 are factor pairs of 36. So let me go ahead. All right. Now, if we look at 3, another thing with 3 is if the numbers individually can be divided by 3, then the entire number can be divisible by 3. Let's see if that's true. So 36 divided by 3. 3 goes into 3 one time. 1 times 3 is 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. Let's bring that 6 down. 3 goes into 6 2 times. And 2 times 3 is 6. That's 0. So that also means that 3 and 12 are a factor pair of 36. Well, let's think about 4. Is there a number that we can use to give us 36 here? Now, of course, not every number is going to be a factor of the numbers, and this is where knowing our multiplication facts can come in really handy. Well, if we think about 4, well, let's see if we continue to go up by 4s, will we hit 36? We have 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, and we have 24, 28, 32, 36. So 9 So 4 times 9 does give us 36, so that means 4 and 9 are factor pairs of 36. This pretty much clears almost everything. Now, we've gone up each time. Let's look at 5. Well, this does not end in 0 or 5, so we know that this is not divisible by 5. But let's try 6 since we're just going up. Now, 6 times anything, will that give us 36? Well, we have 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36. 6 times 6 will give us 36. So that is also a factor pair. Now, this also helps us to be able to list out all of the factors of a number. So if we were to look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 12, 18, 36. So these are all of the factors of 36. We have now listed all of the factor pairs of 36. Now, show how 36 is a multiple of each of its factors. Well, we did that actually when we were trying to figure out what the factor pairs were, because we know that when we multiply each of these together, they give us 36. So that means that if we were to list out the multiples of each of these numbers, 36 will be in that number. We have now completed this question. The next question is 36 a prime or a composite number? Explain why. Well, what is a prime number? A prime number is a number that only has two factors, one and itself. Well, this is clearly not a prime number because this has well over two factors. So this will indeed be a composite number. And we know this because a composite number is going to have three or more factors. So a prime has exactly two factors, one in itself, and a composite number has three or more. So that more could be eons and eons, it just could be forever. In this case, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So now we have explained why 36 is a composite number. Finally, is 36 a multiple of 9? How do you know? Well, when we were looking for factor pairs, we did realize that 4 times 9 gives us 36. So that means if we were listing out the factors of 9, so 9, 18, 27, 36. There we have it. This is proof that 36 will be a multiple of 9. We have shown it through working it out, and now we have all of our answers and we have answered everything correctly. Hopefully this made sense to you and helped you think about factor pairs and prime and composite. But if you still have any lingering questions or any questions that do not actually have anything to do with factor pairs and prime and composite, feel free to let me know. I would love to be of assistance to you. Again, thank you so much for watching today, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining my tutoring session today. If you enjoy the way that I instruct and you think that I would be a useful addition to your student or to yourself, feel free to scan this QR code. It is going to take you directly to my profile page where you can get set up on weekly classes with me. Looking forward to seeing you in the classroom.